Hi, it is currently January 2nd, 2026. This is my first ever video diary. Um, I'm recording this because I want to keep track of my creative work, make myself accountable, keep track of my state of mind, and kind of memorialize where I am at this point in time in my life. Um, yeah, my name is Riggs Vergara, and I'm an aspiring film, TV writer, director. Um, Currently, at this point in time, I am turning 27 in 3 days, and I've produced one short film called The Cleansing. It's won an award for the Audience Choice Award for Central Alberta Film Festival. Amazing event, really cool people. I've produced, directed, edited um, 3 short documentaries, and right now this year I'm currently working on 2 more documentaries. One I'm directing, and one I'm a cinematographer. These are documentaries with Telus. I'm not the most comfortable person in front of the camera. I'm usually behind the camera. I love being behind the camera, getting to know people that way, directing people, telling them what to do, um, working with actors, kind of helping them get to where they need to be for the story. What I want to be in life really is that, to be a writer director, to be able to tell my own stories and sorry, tell my own stories, and especially being queer, being Filipino, being an immigrant, stories like that could resonate with people, especially in those communities where I'm from. The way that the films and TV shows I've seen in life have resonated with me, even though I'm most of the time not fully represented. Um, yeah, right now I'm currently writing 2 features and 1 short film. I'm writing a queer romance drama about an aspiring Filipino painter and this really crazy tumultuous love triangle relationship that he's found himself in. And another another one is the other feature is a thriller about an overseas Filipino worker, an immigrant mom who is kind of trapped in this sort of pyramid scheme cult-ish type situation. Yeah. That's what I'm working on this year. I hope to finish those 2 stories this year. What kind of inspired me to really taking on my creative pursuit more actively is this little show. It's the number 1 show right now. It's this little show called Heated Rivalry, and it's a Canadian show about 2 hockey players, the best of their team, and they're pitted against each other, and they have like a secret love affair kind of thing. Very, very typical of the romance genre, and an amazing story, really. But it aside from the amazing story, and especially the queer scenes, the coming out scene with Shane and Rose, the coming out scene with Shane and his mom, and the scene where Ilya had to do this whole phone call in Russian. Aside from those amazing things, I think I'm just in awe of how much they've done with such little budget, and the way that they've approached this story of like how there's so much heart in it. And after seeing the show in completion, it made me it's one of those films where I'm like, I want to do that, I want to make that. And it's for me, it's rare to find. I would be inspired and I would be like, wow, that's an amazing film, that's an amazing TV show. But it's rare for me to find something where I'm like, I want to make that. And this one really, there was so many moments where I would just sob. And yeah, it's really inspired me to just kind of take on my creative work more actively. And yeah, it's every time I watch an interview of Jacob Tierney, I always get a little bit emotional, just because the way that he talks about queer stories, and how a lot of what he's seen is very dark, traumatic in the past. There's this one quote where he says like, if all we see is joy reflected back to us, and then how do we kind of live our lives? Something along those lines of, you always see trauma reflected back to you in the media. Then how do you live your life more hopeful? You know, and it's 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 overwhelming. It hurts me to just be like, I want to get there. I want to be that good. When people talk about how you gotta be humble, you gotta be these kinds of things, I'm eagerly, enthusiastically wanting to be an amazing filmmaker, a writer, director. And it's hard to admit that sometimes to myself, even though like I could come across as like ambitious to a lot of people, just because it's hard to aim that high when you've come from a point that's like so low. And I'm kind of the first in my family to really pursue something more artistically. And in my immediate family, I'm, I guess, considered like this academically smart one, and there's so much pressure that I don't know if I put on myself, or that I've kind of accumulated over the years from what people would say. But there's so much pressure that I feel every day to not make any mistakes, to really do every decision correctly. I don't come from a privileged family. My mom is a first generation immigrant who had to sacrifice so much for us to get here where we are. She's a single mom, so like every decision I make counts a lot. There's a lot of pressure to get it right, and I feel like I have no opportunity to fuck up, to make mistakes. It's hard to admit that sometimes. Um, so I'm kind of using this video diary thing to talk more about that, I guess. What I found moving here to Canada, I moved here in 2018 from the Philippines, is how isolating it can be, and just because of how individualism is such a huge part of this culture, and it's a different thing when community is such a big thing in the Philippines. Okay, so I totally forgot one of the things I wanted to include, which is um, an update on where I'm at with the work that I'm currently doing. So, I'm writing two features, romance, drama, and a thriller, right? So, the romance drama, I currently have a full, complete outline, and I have my first 10 pages, which I'm very happy with. I've sent it to some of my trusted friends, and one of them has given me pretty good feedback so far. The thriller feature, actually have written a complete outline and a pitch deck for it last year, which I guess is a few months ago. And I also used it for a opportunity. Basically, they wanted you to submit something you're currently working on for you to be able to attend a national film and TV conference here in Canada. So I was able to do that last year, but I didn't really have that much traction when it comes to writing. I think I have like first 20 pages of like a very rough story. I applied for a grant for it for applied for a local grant here in Calgary where I could hire a mentor to help me write the script, but I didn't get the grant, so I kind of put it on hold. So I want to keep doing that. I want to write more for that feature as well. So, first 10 pages in complete outline for the romance drama, and first messy 20 pages and a complete outline and pitch deck for the thriller. So before the next update, I want to have added 15 pages to the romance drama feature script, and I want to have completed the short film that I'm working on. The short film is a psychological thriller about microaggressions as an painter and artist, and being Filipino. It's a hybrid uh, drama slash live action slash animation. Um, I'm doing that work with a local artist here and a cinematographer slash producer, and we want to submit it for grants as well. So it's a 15-ish, 10 to 15 minute short film. So I want to have completed that. Yeah, so I'm hoping that by next update, I would have done those things that I promised myself. So I'm using this video diary format to kind of be like my sounding board, and to talk about the creative process, to talk about um, what I'm going through at the time, something to look back on, and also see where my journey has been, especially for the year. Um, yeah, I want to do a lot of great things this year. And this is something that I can look at and, okay, I promised myself I would do this, you know. And I'm also taking acting classes. I'm doing this intro class because I wanted to kind of understand and see acting from the other side of things. I thought it would also help me direct actors in the future. So that's currently where I am at January 2, 2026. I want to try doing this every 2 weeks or so, or every month. We'll see how busy it gets. But yeah, that's where I am right now.